Here at the seed orchard, we're propagating and growing whitebark pine, which is a crucial keystone species for the Yellowstone, in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, and really throughout its entire range. In particular, from the wildlife side of things, the value is really in the cone and the important seed that it produces, and the valuable, it produces one of the largest seeds of any tree in this ecosystem. It's a seed full of protein and carbohydrates and fats that numerous wildlife species benefit from. Of particular import, there's a unique relationship between the whitebark pine and grizzly bears, squirrels, and particularly from the perspective of propagation of the seeds, the Clark's nutcracker. Whitebark pine represents, for grizzly bears, traditionally a very valuable food source in the fall season, as grizzly bears are trying to put on weight in what we call the hyperphagia season, right before they go into hibernation. And whitebark pine seeds have incredible protein, and it really represents one of the most perfect food sources for them. It's kind of has the nutritional value of like butter, essentially. They're able to just eat it and consume and gain massive amounts of calories. And they acquire the seeds in kind of an unusual way, and that's where the squirrels come in. Squirrels climb up in the trees, break open these cones, which don't open on themselves, these sticky, large cones where all the seeds are kept, hauled all the seeds down, and they cache them away in middens all around the forest. And grizzly bears are really good at finding these middens, digging them up, and feasting and eating all the squirrels' food, essentially. That happens through all the fall at the higher elevation range that the grizzly bear, or the whitebark pine exists. Clark's nutcracker and its relationship with whitebark pine is really one of the more interesting and unique features in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. Whitebark pine, as I mentioned, the cones don't open themselves. So in order for distribution of the cones and propagation of the cones, it's completely reliant on this species of bird. Clark's nutcracker is it's a J-sized bird species, 10 to 11 inches in size, kind of a light gray in color with some black on its wings, and it's got this very pointed lance-like specialized bill that allows it to break open the cone and access the seeds. And it's able to store in a pouch up under its tongue 150 seeds at once, and then it proceeds to fly all over the area, all over the ecosystem, in all sorts of different habitats, and it caches or stores these seeds, 4 or 5 little chunks of at a time, and buries them. And a single nutcracker can have thousands, if not tens of thousands, of caches all around the ecosystem. And what's remarkable is the nutcracker remembers where most of these things are, but it doesn't get all of them. And the ones that it doesn't get, well, that's your source for potential new whitebark pine seedlings in the future. So given that it's absolutely essential, this relationship between the two of them, in order for whitebark pine to be propagated and spread throughout the ecosystem and germinate for future generations. Well, grizzly bears are obviously, they're generalists, right? They're omnivores. They eat just about everything you can possibly imagine. And while whitebark pine represents an important source for many of the grizzly bears, it's not all of grizzly bears obviously take advantage of this potential food source. And with the decline in whitebark pine, it has resulted in grizzly bears needing to seek other food sources, some of these alternate food sources in the ecosystem, which may have resulted in shifts in ranges, distributions, and so forth, as they're looking for different things to eat.